Hello everyone and welcome back to Boater Plays Something. We are playing The Outer Worlds, previously broadcast on The Citadel over at Insane Games TV. If you're interested in that channel, you can check it out in the description below. But in the meantime, let's play something.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Oh, I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die.
Homicide
By the
file.
way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage?
A kick me
Perfectly
sign?
normal side
The
effect of
what?
thawing, I assure you.
To check all that out. So I've been feeling a little lightheaded, but it's not too bad. I just need to make sure I'm drinking water. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine.
Okay.
What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker.
Oh,
She can
I was
get
about
you
to
a
say I
nice
kind of wanted to
piece
go
of
to the
land on
Groundbreaker
Stellar
first.
Bay.
Can I just land like somewhere outside Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
He tested my brain. There is a speed run where they lowered the intelligence upon setting off so that they could pick something. Oh, so number one, they immediately turned in wells. Then they could go to the end thing. Normally, you would have to do some side quest to get something installed that would make it safe. But if you're stupid enough, like lower your intelligence enough, you can just decide to go without it. And then you crash and it's game over. And it was like a valid speed run. It was like 5 minutes or something. Okay, so if I can't land in Cascadia or whatever that is, why do I need a nav key?
Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Right, the black marketeer.
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
Okay, so for anyone watching this on YouTube, when he said unimpeachable and my eyebrows reached for the sky, today's the day that Andrew Cuomo announced his resignation in order to try to avoid impeachment. Out of curiosity, what's just stopping me from leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the hope.
Alright, I'll go have a word with Gladys. Hold on. If I look... That way! Right? Now I'm pointing to him, right? Sort of, like here. Hi! Bye.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming.
A wireless.
By the way, I
Okay.
gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll
Okay.
find it in the captain's quarters.
Yeah, do you want to explain what that is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
So instead of taking a security guard's armor, we just wear a hologram of it instead. So that we keep the stats for our own armor. Okay, I see. So you said it has limitations. Let's hear them. Because the last guy that talked to me about limitations, I ended up getting in bed with him, and it was disappointing.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long.
Sounds
bound
like the
to
guy.
or something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
So why do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform or something?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise?
You'd be surprised,
The
honey.
holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
How? Okay, so I understand when you say sweetens your breath, you're probably exaggerating, but if you're not, I hope you know that many of the guards that I've talked to have breath that smells like a greyhound's anus. So be careful about that.
That's how.
Okay, I'll put it to good use.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Got it. Alright, is Parvati still with me? No, so we can go chat with her for a while. How's it going? Hal. That planet's there. Very nice. Very sexy. We can probably... Okay. Parvati.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
Yeah, alright, I can just tell him to get out. So what do you think of this ship? It's pretty junky, but also pretty great, huh?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space with intact
Scooshed.
stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
So that's the ship computer. It's not intelligent, but it does a really good imitation. It almost sounds like the girls back home, who I'm pretty sure were also not actually intelligent, but they did a good job pretending.
so you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello, I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
So I'm gonna call you they, them.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
So what do you think, Parvati? Is this ship safe to fly now that we have a
I
regulator?
don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top.
I feel like
But
we
I
should
think
have
we're
checked
taking
that
the
before we
plasma
launched
torches.
in a vacuum.
You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
So did you learn your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you were talking to Reed. That segued really well.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all of my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
Yeah, he was an asshole, honey.
I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like he wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
So why would people be unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
You don't have any say in it at all?
I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job.
But you're actually good at this, and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
So you went away for school, but then you still went back to Edgewater anyway?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug.
What?
I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Oh. Did you get much time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Yeah. Break time's over. Whew. Wow. Okay. We already talked to Vicar Max, so we'll go in there shortly. It's going to be hard when I'm having serious heart-to-hearts with these characters, and I'm having to use... Created for a prank. Sam wore the sign for a week before Aiden noticed and pointed out to the janitorial unit. Who placed it on the unit, however, remains a mystery. Steel kick me sign. Right, I got a bunch of, like, items that came in, yeah? Hold up. Terror Ray Beak. Oh, Reed's key. Key to Reed's room. above the cannery. Oh, I'm sure that had something interesting. We have mods here that I could do. Should maybe look at that pretty soon. I don't really care about too many of these. I'll break down a couple of these. This is all stuff that I can pick up. The Modern Steel Wrench in You. This book is heavily dog-eared with doodles in the margins. Spade, examine. Banged up toolbox full of modified tools with unique mechanical usages. Digging around in here would be an easy way to lose a finger to a sawtooth blade. Abigail. First wrench Dad ever gave me. She's been a friend ever since. What? Oh. I promise I'm not going to shoot it. I just wanted to get a closer look. I don't need to pick up all this random stuff. Petunia the plant. This is not a petunia. Huh? Index of Banned Literature. Part 1. Various Qualifying Considerations. Part 2. Principal Rules of Restrictive Management. Part 3. Morals and Maxims of Banning Unethical Literature. Part 4. Proof of the Grand Architect and Predestination, a refutation of the titles listed here within. Part 5. Consequences, the Mind, and the Will of Man when led astray. Part 6. Official list of banned titles. Part 7. Prerequisites for advancing the investigation, outing, and penalizing of offenders. OSI anointment vial. Smells suspiciously like iceberg-aged whiskey. Tossball trading cards. In mint condition. Most of these cards represent players from the Hephaestus Hammers and the Tile Backers. The Art and Science of Tossball. Impossible to put down. Order of Scientific Inquiry. Office of Literature. This endorsement has been approved. Anti-Cleo's Darlings. Signed by Seymour Whitlock, who held the record for most on-the-field fatalities for 3 consecutive seasons. Wow. Give me all that heavy ammo. The Journal of Maximilian de Soto, Volume 1. The scribblings on these journal pages are utterly illegible to anyone except Vicar Maximilian de Soto. Doctrinal Studies 539 of Equity and Equations. These textbooks have been out of print for almost half a century. The margins are filled with scribbled notes, and many passages have been underlined. Some pages have come loose, the glue now yellowed and cracked along the spines. Let's see, there's nobody in here yet. So it does not have signs of habitation. Same here, same here. Let's check out my quarters. Puffball plant. So like the spores of the puffball cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. Adelaide. If I had sided with Thompson, I wouldn't have gotten that. I would have gotten something else. The decorations in here reflect your adventures. Sentry Saber, I don't need to pick that up. It's actually kind of fine where it is. Bin! I can throw stuff in here that I don't want to hold on to. Like my hibernation suit. Yep, toss that in. Basically anything I want to hold on to for any sort of like odd sentimental reason. Yeah, that's it though. Just the suit. Reed's hat. Obsidian skull. Forged under pressure. This decorative skull is carved from volcanic rock. Sometimes when faced with a choice, the only proper response is to annihilate the people asking you to make it. I should have put the hat back on.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Can I put it back on? No, hold on. Options. Drop. So close. Reed's hat. Clothing. Dialogue skills +7. Formerly the property of Reed Thompson, who was formerly the property of Space's Choice. How does that look on me? Oh, I'm not a fan. No. Options. Drop. Damn it. Damn it! Boom, boom, boom. We're facing just over it. Good enough! Alright, Shroud. Holographic Shroud projects a disguise around you and your companions. It gives you access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. It's not a tutorial, it's just telling me about what that is. Alright, Terminal. The Unreliable Message Terminal. Authorized login sequence recognized. Welcome, Captain. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Viewing messages for user Hawthorne A. Please select from the following options. Hawthorne's archived messages. From U. Bedford. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor in the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad and instead touched down in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Your best friend, Udom. Oh, these probably go from oldest down here. Dear Alex, hello, Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship, my silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that weren't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me. And I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. You really are quite the gentleman. If you're ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we could try every color. You know, really tie one on. Let me know. Your new friend, Udom. Dear Alex, hello, hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about the impounded mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to that thing we discussed, about the Wells fella. I'm so sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, now wouldn't it? Looking forward to seeing you again, Wingman. Your dear friend, Udom. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivably rude to ignore the odd and sincere messages of one's friends. Best, Udom, please respond. Then that thing about the terminal, so let's go to the sent messages there. Okay, why can I not?
I so
No.
enjoy watching you sleep for hours on end, Captain. It's quite entertaining the way you drool and whimper.
Right, that's a different messages. Let's go to sent messages. To you, Bedford. Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many, might have knocked it off the desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. Buy me a drink of the Lost Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. Hawthorne's Unread Messages. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly border-proof, so don't you go showing it around your spacer buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Winky face, winky face. Udom. Oh, they fucking. Logs. Log entry number 1, titled Shrink Ray. Note to self, remember this later. No, better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point. I saw, in actuality, with my own 2 eyes, a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, if I had asked it smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that pushed the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge. But I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Will's shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Log entry number 2, titled Hammer Power. The last time I got sloshed, I was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom's really free with the drinks, seems like an okay fella, even if he does want to bone down a little. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on 2 Mardettes yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us ever heard that before. But here's the good part. Mardette said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power or something similar. Strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat? Yeah, sure fits the bill. Could be another one of them weapons that inspired Wells. Log entry number 3, titled Black Market Leads. Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times, but Architect be damned is just sitting there neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission, or breaking expensive equipment when he said it weren't ready yet, and that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait till Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I've been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. A.H. Nice. I'm gonna try to do this again. I can do this. Look, I'm getting really good at dropping. I guess that's the best that's gonna do. Hold up. Sure. It's not on forward, but it'll do.